Hello my wonderful viewers and welcome back. It's Akiziel here and today I'll be bringing you episode 5 of the lore of Guem. I opted for a little change of scenery for these lore videos to fit the theme. Hope you like it. If you enjoy my content, I'd appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. And before I begin, I'd like to thank all of you for watching and especially those who comment. It really means a lot to me that you guys take an interest in this little writing project of mine. Now, since this is a part 2 on the Naval Coalition, I'll start by addressing some of the questions that were in the comments of the last video, and the answers to them. So question 1. Have there ever been any conflicts between admirals or something? How would it be settled? Well, there have been conflicts between admirals, but they're usually minor. The method of resolution is most often a debate with a neutral party playing the part of both mediator and judge. Of course, out on the seas it may not be feasible to have a debate, so generally speaking, the one whose jurisdiction the situation falls under is free to conduct operations as they see fit. But there is room for another admiral to exercise their judgment, and their actions are evaluated later. This system allows individuals to exercise their initiative and judgment, but they will be held responsible for their actions and the outcome that results from said actions. Question 2. How much autonomy is each admiral trusted with from the Grand Admiral? Has this trust been tested or broken before? Generally, the Grand Admiral allows the fleet admirals to do as they please so long as they fulfill their duties and don't do anything reprehensible, such as committing war crimes. This trust was broken by the predecessor of Fleet Admiral Wolfgang Stryger, who used his power to subjugate an entire species of recently discovered people. After the Grand Admiral discovered what had been done, he had those responsible stand trial for their actions. Everyone who was found guilty was either executed, dishonorably discharged, imprisoned, or exiled, depending on the extent and severity of the part they played in it. And of course their connections, because some people were able to get away with exile rather than execution due to their connections. Question 3. This is a question that branches out, so bear with me. While there is a part of it dedicated to research and development, what is the Coalition's view of mages and inventors within its borders? Are they scooped up and placed into jobs and roles? Are they okay with them being left to their own devices? Or is the matter handled differently by each nation that's part of the Coalition? Well, the Coalition encourages the study of magic and science, but the individual member states largely have the freedom to pursue those as they see fit. For example, Veror allowed unrestricted magical experimentation, which led to a cataclysm that turned most of the nation into a wasteland. And this is what Veror looks like right now. Not the most hospitable of places. As for Acadia, that is the polar opposite, where magic is heavily regulated by the Crown, and mages must be trained and licensed at the Royal Academy. Any mages who have not been trained by the Academy and certified there are treated as witches/warlocks and will be hunted down by the witch hunters. The Coalition does try to snatch up the best and brightest from all of the member nations to put them in research and development, but it's up to the individuals if they wish to accept the offer. Most do, because working for the Coalition's R&D division grants access to more resources than any one nation can offer. And in order to prevent cases like Veror from happening again, the Coalition keeps an eye on their research to ensure they don't try anything too dangerous. Aside from that, their mages and scientists are free to pursue any field of research that has benefit to the Coalition or the citizens of its member nations. And question 4. What is the most odd or strange maritime law that the Coalition has? In an attempt to eradicate slavery, the Coalition regulated the import and export of any goods produced with slave labor. Over the decades, the amount of slave-produced goods allowed to be shipped decreased until a complete ban was instituted. This gave nations that relied on slave labor time to adapt and made the transition away from slavery much easier. As a result, the only coalition nation that still practices slavery is Varor. While this may not seem strange to us given our modern sensibilities, it would have been strange to many nations in the setting at the time that law was passed. After all, slavery is one of the oldest institutions in the history of our world. You may ask why Varor gets an exception. The country doesn't export any goods that were produced with slave labor, so they are compliant with the law, but they keep their slaves for domestic needs. This is considered the best that can be done for now because of how Varorian society is structured. Any attempt to entirely eradicate slavery from Varor would require a restructuring of their entire society, the ruling class being deposed, and a prolonged military occupation to ensure that the people don't return to it. Their society is a hierarchy spanning all the way from the supplicants at the bottom to the supreme sorcerer/sorceress at the top. And for those who are wondering, the supplicants are those slaves who are viewed as being so useless that the only use that is left for them is to be used as sacrifices. Anyone can rise or fall within the hierarchy depending on their performance, which is paired with the belief of most Varorians that those who remain slaves deserve to be there because those who prove themselves worthy of having a higher lot in life will get it. The ritual that led to the cataclysm that devastated the nation was the fault of the supreme sorceress at the time, who has since fallen to the rank of slave due to her monumental failure and is clawing her way back up the hierarchy. The Naval Coalition's military forces possess their own headquarters, which is separate from that of the Coalition Council. The military HQ is located on a sky island, which has been converted into the most massive skyship to ever see use. Even when there are significant distances between the military HQ and the Council, however, communication is facilitated using magic crystals which have been attuned to transmit sight and sound between each other. In a way, you can consider this to be similar to the Den Mushis in One Piece. Those snail telephones. Now, onto the Coalition Council itself. The Council convenes in the country of Ausonia, where their headquarters is located. The HQ houses the Assembly Hall where the Council meets, the Treasury, a barracks for the guards, and other important facilities. Now, while roses are commonly associated with love, dark red roses, such as the one on the banner, have been known to symbolize commitment and passion. There are those whose commitment to the coalition and the passion with which they strive towards goals, that they have temporarily renounced allegiance to their respective homelands to serve the coalition as a whole, rather than simply serving the interests of their homeland. These people serve as counselors within the Upper Council. They're meant to be impartial, due to their lack of ties to any one specific nation, and to strive towards the common good of all the coalition members and the ideal of a unified and peaceful world. Members of the Upper Council wear robes in the colors of the banner to further showcase where their allegiances now lie. Similarly to the Grand Admiral and the Fleet Admirals, the Upper Council is allowed to act as they deem fit, so long as they don't violate the Charter or perform any actions which the majority of the Council of Representatives does not support. This allows the Upper Council to act more quickly when there is not sufficient time for the larger Council of Representatives to deliberate and come to a decision on something. And as you can see, these are some of the councils, such as the previous one was Chantelin, this one is Councillor Doyen, and here's Supreme Councillor Ishaya. Now, aside from handling matters of legislature, which is their primary focus, the Upper Council is also responsible for granting approval for a guild to expand beyond its country of origin and establish operations in other member nations. So, if a guild, say for example, will either A, started within one country within the Naval Coalition, or started in a country outside of it, to be able to expand to other nations within the coalition, they need approval from the council. Now, some notable examples of guilds include the Merchants Guild, which this is their emblem, which it originated in Ausonia, with the Ausonia Trading Company, and the Mercenary Guild, seen here, which also originally came from Ausonia and offered its services is for two things. One was the mercenaries who were hired by the Ausonia Trading Company to defend their ships from boarding action, and the other is that there was a need for adventurers, and you can see some details of the emblem pay homage to that with the compass on it, which also shows how far the guild has spread across the world. But these guilds will get their own lore videos later. Many guilds operate in the territory of both the Pirate Alliance and Naval Coalition, and one may wonder why the Council would allow guilds that offer their services to pirates to operate within their territories. In some cases, the guilds use proxies and thus can deny any direct involvement, an example of this being the Merchants Guild. In other cases, such as the Mercenary Guild, they may reach a compromise with the Council. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the comment section below. I enjoy reading and answering them. And until next time, ta-ta!